And now I would like to pass the word to our speakers. Nolwenn and Robert, it's great to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you, Claudia, for the introduction. And yeah, I guess in the meantime, everybody is used to this kind of online virtual event. So it's obviously it's a little bit weird. There are several people on the other side you can't see, but it's our pleasure being here and having this opportunity to introduce you IXIASOFT, and as mentioned, a day in the life of a technical writer. Not to waste too much time, but at least I want to introduce you quickly to IXIASOFT. So for everybody who hasn't heard about us or who want to learn the latest about our company, I will provide you with a quick introduction. So as you can see, IXIASOFT is not a new kid on the block. We are 20 years in business. The company was founded 20 years ago in Montreal, Canada. So in the meantime, we have quite some experience on the technical documentation and e-learning and training world. And on the other side, we are in the meantime grown to a global team. So as said, the headquarter is still in Montreal, Canada. So the activities in North America are obviously long time established. But even in the meantime, as you can see on the landscape, we achieve 35% of our customer wins in the European market, and it keeps on growing. And besides Europe and North America, we also active as a small team in Japan. But yeah, we are the experts on the technical documentation. If you could go back to the slide again. So we have even to provide the best value to our customers. So we even work with partners on technology sites and consulting sites, so that really the experience around the content creation, the documentation process is as valued and experienced for everybody. Besides that, we are members of the OASIS DITA committee. So the standard for the structured content, which even in Europe gets more and more visibility and will be used more and more. And besides that, obviously being around for 20 years, in the meantime, we have achieved quite a lot of projects in the different verticals, as you can see here with some nice marketing logos from our customers. But even on the next slide, you can see the activities which are not happening by coincidence. So software industry is the strongest because they have been the first introducing DITA for the structured content as the first vertical, but later on the semiconductors joined, medical devices, and obviously in the European market we have a growing number of manufacturing customers. But in the meantime, we have references in all different kind of verticals, but those are today the strongest. So, but everybody's waiting for the cool stuff, seeing how it's looking like, what's happening in the day of a technical writer. So from here, I would hand it over to Nolwenn.
Thank you, Robert. Hello, everyone. I'm Nolwenn, and I'll be demonstrating what could be the top tasks for a technical writer. Although there are many roles, you probably know that already in your experience working on content, today we'll focus on writing tasks. So on the demonstration, we'll go through a series of steps, and I'll introduce a few base concepts to you on structured content and topic-based authoring. So let's get started. If I'm looking at IXIASOFT and I'm looking at a map, so what I'm seeing here is really a series of elements. If I look at the same document within a Word document, and it's actually the same, what I'm seeing is a table of content. So the map organizes the content, but the content resides in each topic. So for example, here, I can open here, welcome, that's a concept. So I have here a title, a short description, just a phrase that says car example and an image, and everything that's in yellow here is part of the metadata that resides within the topic. and that's used mostly by systems to present the information, but not necessarily printed. Another example would be a task, adding the oil. And here I will see that this is a little bit more structured. I have a topic, I have some metadata here. So you can see there are some dates, author names. We could have product information in there as well, some keywords, categories. And then we see that there is a little bit more structure with about this task, and then some steps, 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. So, you know, that follows the base recommendation for a procedural content. What you might notice as well is the actual green outline on the step 1 and step 2 if audience is novice. So this is a variable that I can use to filter out content when I process a file or a document. So this is based on audience, but it could be product B, product A, etc., etc. Those are the base information that you'd see right away. So I do have a map, and of course I'm working within a CCMS. So the content is in there, and we have a single point of truth for the content. So everything is held at in the same space, but multiple people can work at the same time. Each of those topics are different objects. So in this example here, what I'm seeing is that here you see the green padlock means I'm currently working on this one, and on the engine compartment is checked out by someone else. So another person is working on this, and that's fine. You know, I can see that this is grayed out. I can't edit it. So let's first try to edit the structure. So remember, the map is the table of content, and the topics hold the content. So I'm seeing some metadata as well, some keywords, information. I do have some variables as well here in the key depths. And then I can see my content. And I can apply as well level of filtering at the map level, at the structure level. So what I can do, of course, is I can move around the content. I can put it down, put it up, change all of that. And of course, I might want to add new content. So in this case, I will look through topics. So 2 ways to do that. Either I'm inserting something that already exists, or I can create something that's new. Let's start with looking through a topic that already exists. Here I'm updating the file for a hybrid model. And what I'll be looking for here is, well, first, everything that's for the mini. So here I'm seeing every single element, map, topic, or even image that's with the mini. If I'm looking for hybrid, I will see a little less number of files. And of course, I can filter per type. So we know that here I'm looking at 4 topics, right? So I search for this, and here I see the different options. I have a description here, the welcome, and some general data. Can preview the file and insert it if that fits what I want. So interestingly, in this topic, what you're seeing is the title, again, the short description, some metadata, and a table with a slight gray background, and that's actually a reused content. So it's a table that's reused within this topic. I'm going to insert that in my map. and put it there. If I want to create a new file, a new topic, in this case, we can choose from a series of topics, and you can see we have some procedural, some conceptual templates, a troubleshooting, a reference. So all of these are the base building blocks for my content. So I'll be using a concept, for example, and create the file. And that will create a new file that I'll then be able to edit and change. Okay, and checking. So you're seeing here that on the right hand side, sorry, you see the details. So I do have a status on that map. I do have when it was last modified, who's currently working on it, so Zoe Ryder. And when I check it in, then this will be updated as well. So every time I check in, check out a topic or a map or an image, I create a revision history in the system. So I did concept and check in. So that's really for the actual structure. Now to update the content that's in the topic, which is the second thing we are going to do, is edit the actual content, right? So I'll start with this one, which I'm currently working on. Okay, so this content, as you can see, has some track changes. It's been reviewed by my colleague, and who's made some comments. I can see on the right-hand side, the status is author in review. The map is the Bini user guide. When it was last modified, it's actually checked out to me. And I can see the review comments by George, or I could navigate through the different options, right? So versus, I have some comments, I have the white space here. And then, you can enforce the track change for reviews, which is especially good since you can accept or reject right away. I'm going to accept that, accept those too, so you can select both and just accept everything. And then I can see I have some comments. So Zoe, please add the mini description. So I'll do that. And then Zoe, please add the hybrid car picture. So I'll do that as well. So I'll just press enter, have a new paragraph. This is a preview of the actual content. You could have different views with tags. You can even switch to the XML view if you like that. Some people really enjoy this. Or of course, you can set different views. So here, for example, this is entirely presented, but you might want to always fold the prologue and not see the information. The styling, the fonts, everything can be changed should you want it. We can see that we have also the spell check available. So I'll add the description, and let's have a look. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to reuse some content. Okay, what I'm seeing in this list is everything that's already used within the document. So there is a note about the storage of the brake fluid. There is a note about the danger of antifreeze. So you could decide to reuse all of this in a block or to reuse step by step, one after the other. What I could also do is see everything that's available in the entire content set for my updates here. And I'm looking at the same values, but here with different branches. So I know that this is available in different products, so for the Mini 2016 and the Mini 2019. I'm looking for the description, and what I'm seeing here is what's highlighted in blue, the description of the hybrid, what it is really. So I'm going to insert that. And if I want to, I could also add an image. On the image, same goes. I could look for everything through the system. I could look for different categories of the system. So some sort of metadata or categories that are applied on the content. So I could look for photographs only. And if I want to refine this, of course, I can use tag, which is the hybrid. So in this case, I know that the one I want, just insert it. Okay, typical reuse also include not only phrases and fragments and words and images, but also other types such as tables. So you can do that as well. In this case, I have some general data. I see this is a table already, and I can preview this and update. So if I want to check that's the right product, I'll just insert this. All right, so there is no limitation into what kind of information you, of course, may reuse in your system. Just, I think I need to add this, and I'll do that again. So look through and insert. And now again, I can check in and retrieve that information. Now, what I might want to do is to publish a file. So I'm going to do that. And from every type of object, I can see the dependencies. So one of the possible challenge with topic-based authoring is that different objects live in different documents. They may have different links, and having a way to check out the relationship between these objects is very important. So I see here that the Mini hybrid is reused in the Mini user guide, and that's just the one document, but of course I could have more here. And I can navigate through. So from the topic, go to the map, and from the map, list everything that's included into that map. Yes. What I can also do from the map is publish and select any kind of outputs. So I might want to add, select one of those, a DITA PDF, for example, remember the filter values we had for audiences. We can add those. And I just have a notice here to filter out everything that's expert. So I could use that. I can have also additional values where I can add an identifier, for example, or whether it's available to different audiences, whether or not I want to integrate a publication date. These are options that you can use actually. So here we can use whatever values you'd like, and process. From the web, what we can do is view the outputs. So I can see that it's currently running. I can see my previous published documents. By default, this stays 7 days in this view available. But of course, that's configurable. You can do that differently. And you can download and preview whatever was used. So I'll just open this and we'll have a sample. With the plugin Hybrid and the new content I added. Of course, you might want to, so that's very manual. This is something you can easily automate and schedule to process your files. Now, this is mostly for editing maps, editing topics, publishing. What I could do as well is not only being the receiver of a topic review, but participate in a collaborative review or an approval. So I'm going to use my favorite view here to navigate to my review here. So I see it's a mini user guide that's from a previous release. And what I'm seeing here, it's actually an HTML view of my entire map from the previous map. So let us change our note here. And you see that we have some silver background and some light background. And each topic has its own status here. Everything that's on work is with a white background. And everything that's considered finished is on a dark background. Well, on a silver. It could be a little bit darker, but then we won't see anything. So the idea here is that multiple people can participate, annotate the content, view other people's comments, and create threads. And in a very simple way. The writer can see all of that information, all of these annotations, and can start working right away on the content. So definitely something that's pretty easy to collaborate with. So that's for a collaborative review that I can move out the review and say, okay, this is done, as an example. Or I can participate in an approval. So the approval is really the same sort of view where you have a preview of the entire content. You create approval, but there's only one approval here, so it's definitely easy. I can view this. Same kind of view, but of course, we're not working with everything is considered finished for an approval, so I don't have a silver background and light background. Everything is presented. So here I'm working on the safety information for the content here, and I can navigate through again. I can download a PDF, so if that's of use to have a check on the actual look, you can download a PDF and see that presented within a resolved view. Or this is very basic, but of course it's still possible and it's advisable to use your own star sheets. And then again, here the only options I have are really to approve or reject with a comment. The approval is kept within the system as the collaborative reviews. So the CCMS really does store all of the actions, everything that happens within the system, whether it's a review, a change of the status, a comment, a content change, and of course, if you need to prove whether or not or who approved such and such content, you can do that pretty easily. So I think that's about it for me. We still have a few minutes to go through. Oh, create brand new content. That's probably something I should show. So creating new content, since we have a few more minutes. What you can do as a writer, of course, you're editing, upgrading content was probably for most of you, the task that you will be doing the most. But of course, from time to time, you need to create new content, which is great. And in this case, what you can do, well, first you can use a default language or multiple languages. And as with topics, you can choose your own map, your own templates. So here it's a basic map. It won't have any topics. Here it's a basic map, but it does have an empty summary topic and 2 empty chapters. Here it's a bit more complex. I have an entire new learning map. So I'll be just using this new document. And here I'm going to select where I'm going to create this. So if I'm working with collection cards, I'll use that. If I'm working on the mini product, I'll use that. If I'm working on regulations, I'll use that. And we can see whatever is available in each of those products. So here I'll be working with Mini 2019. And we can see that at this point, I have all of the expected information. So I have already 2 variable preset, ACME and product A, and 3 topics available. So I can start writing right away. And I can edit those files right away as well. So again, reusing content, reusing keys. There. And I think that's maybe it for me. I'm hearing some typing. So I'll just reuse that and check in. Oops, brief description. There we go. So that concludes the end of the demonstration. We've been reusing topic, changing the structure, adding new content, reviewing, publishing, quickly participate in a collaborative review and an approval, which we approved, and create brand new content.